Hello everyone, Liv here. Welcome to Executive Corner. It's expert talk with a 10-minute roundup with Matt Morgan today, the editor-in-chief of fit@60.com. And this is the place we bring to you industry leaders, successful business owners, market and equity advocates, all under the one roof to help you discover the insights of the stock market and also help you understand how you can create multiple passive income streams. Today's show, as I said, Matthew Morgan, Editor-in-Chief at fit@60.com. Matt, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Hi Liv, good to talk to you.
Yeah, and you too. I want to get straight into it. Fit at 60, it's a community that provides nutrition and workout strategies for people who, unsurprisingly, are in their 60s. Matt, what was the idea behind your brand?
So I've spent about a decade in the health and fitness space, and the one thing that I've seen over time is there really is very little for people once they sort of get past 50. A lot of it is very issue based. It's bad back, bad knee, bad hips, what have you. But most people in their 60s, they might have an ailment or two, but they're generally full of life, full of energy. And they want, they're looking for content to help them continue to be that way. And I just, I couldn't see it out there and very much felt it was a gap in the market.
And I know one of your catch cries, Matt, is 60 is the new 40. That's good news for me. When, of course, I'm not approaching 60, but I'm now technically 20, I think. Anyway, for that reason, you're doing things a little differently, as you just said. It's not just about exercise and nutrition, but medical as well. So just how are you doing things differently?
Yeah, we did a lot of consumer research and testing as we developed the Fit at 60 proposition. And what we heard loud and clear from people in their 50s and 60s is they're looking for professional advice. So advice from people who are experts in particular things. So we've built a small community of experts, personal trainers, recovery specialists, nutritionists, cooks. We've got a GP on staff who can all come together and give great advice for the whole idea of living a good life and living well and staying well.
So you're behind 28 by Sam Wood when we were talking offline a little earlier. That's considered one of the leaders in at-home fitness programs in Australia. With your Fit at 60 model, are you following the same model?
Yeah, I was very lucky to be a big part of 28 by Sam Wood, one of the top programs in the country. And yes, yeah, you know, I think COVID in particular has normalized this idea of finding workout content, nutrition content, meal plans, cooking, all that kind of stuff online and consuming it online, and more than that, paying for it online. And why should the over 60s be left out? So yeah, I'm not going to break something that's working quite well. The only thing we've added on top of that is a bit more of the medical advice. Particularly around ailments and avoiding injury, because that's just specific to our audience.
Let's just pick up on COVID that you were just talking about. COVID then, you of course launched your company in January 2020 and then COVID kicked off. So how did you adapt your product, or did you?
Yeah. Some would say not the best time to launch a new company. All it did was it's given us a greater opportunity, because I think, you know, once we got into March, April, May, that sort of time last year, people were actively looking for solutions online. You know, if they were locked up at home and being sedentary, then they could probably feel very quickly the effect it was having. So in that respect, I think we launched it at a good time. So it just meant that we had to cycle really quickly to find the right content, find the right specialists, and then work through all the COVID restrictions to then film with them and create the content to engage our audience with.
And did you see an uptake in customers? I guess it's hard to really know, given that you don't really have a benchmark pre-COVID, do you?
No, but I'd set what I felt was some fairly aggressive targets. Look, I'm never satisfied. I always want more than we get, but I set some what I like to think is aggressive or realistically aggressive targets. And we've really held to those pretty much all the way through since we started, which gives me a huge amount of pride and a huge amount of confidence that we're doing something correct and something right in a space that's underserved.
Well, you have got a 5-year plan, you were telling me. It's early days, of course, but what are the hopes and desires with that?
But I've kind of got two hopes and desires. I guess, fundamentally, I hope we continue to improve and help people live a better life. That's the kind of the mission of the company, if you will. But I'd love to really explode this and take it overseas. I think there's a huge market for Australian health and fitness in other markets. Australia is very aspirational in that regard, and I want to fly the Aussie flag around the rest of the world. And I think to do that, we're going to need some kind of involvement with a larger organisation, whether that's investment or buyout or whatever it might be. And so, we're very much building the company to get ourselves to that position in the next 2 or 3 years. If we carry on doing what we're doing, it will be in the next 2 or 3 years. And again, that's very much the focus for us.
And how important is it then in your mind that before 60 people start to build this sort of mental and physical health?
Look, I think one thing that COVID hopefully has normalised to everyone is that doing a little bit every day is a great way to keep you healthy and fit. And all of us, myself included, have bad habits that we should probably do less of. And being aware of those and having strategies and ways in which to manage them is only a good thing. I'd also say that it's never too late. You can always turn around and start over. And a lot of our customers have not done very much for a long period of time, and a big part of the content that we create is about helping those people get up off the couch and start moving. The body is a machine, and the machine needs to be used. It's very much as simple as that. So if you can do something, that is what I would say to everybody.
Oh, it's great chatting to you, Matt. Thank you so much for your time today, and some really important points that you make there in terms of just keeping healthy and well, and it's always good to see that produce good economic outcomes as well. Matt, we'll sign off now. Watch this space for more. Stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine. Matt, thanks for joining us.